So welcome back guys. Now in this section of the course we will going to learn how we can implement our TCP server as active opener. So basically we will going to focus on how to implement connect system call. So we already know that we have a TCP client which is a separate program, and our TCP client invoke connect system call in order to get connected with our TCP server. Our TCP server invoke accept system call in order to create a connection and complete three-way handshake between TCP client and the TCP server itself. But it could also be possible that our TCP server may feel the need to invoke or to initiate a TCP connection with some other remote TCP server present elsewhere in the network. In that case, our TCP server should have the ability to invoke connect system call in order to initiate TCP connection with some remote TCP server. In this case, that remote TCP server is TCP server 2. And that TCP server 2 will then invoke accept system call in order to complete three-way handshake between the TCP server 1 and TCP server 2. So we will going to implement this CLI, that is config TCP server name, and the keyword is connect, and we have to specify the remote IP address and the port number to which we want to connect our TCP server. Alright, so for example, the user is configuring this CLI on this TCP server and he wants to connect with the remote TCP server whose IP address is 1.1.1.1 and is listening on port 880. Then in this CLI, the user has to specify the remote IP address as 1.1.1.1 and remote port as 0. Alright, this CLI is being triggered on TCP server 1, and as soon as this CLI is triggered, our TCP server 1 should initiate TCP connection with the remote TCP server. So this is the CLI that we will going to implement in this section of the course. The negation part of the CLI we will going to focus separately and later. Alright, so this is the problem statement that we will going to address in this section of the course. Always remember that any process which initiate TCP connection using connect system call is called active opener. That is, it is a machine which initiates the TCP connection. Any machine which initiates the TCP connection using connect system call is called active opener. Alright, so in this case, for the TCP connection between this TCP client and TCP server 1, the active opener is this laptop, whereas for this TCP connection, which is between TCP server 1 and TCP server 2, the active opener is TCP server 1. Alright, so this is the problem statement, and let us walk through in this section of the course that how we can fully implement the connect system call.